Hello and welcome to art class again. A quick brief video just to give you an update on where you are with your plans. As you begin, you are going to start with the large paper, okay? And I'm just going to quick run through this because the actual written instructions for this are on Moodle. If you take a look, it'll tell you exactly what you need to include. I've also included copies of the examples of these that I'm about to show you on the Moodle page for you to take a look at. So, first thing you're going to do is you're going to write and figure out where do you want to live. So you might say you're going to write down your location. And for all of these, you need to come up with a 5. I'm going to write location. And you're going to come up with 5 things that you're going to possibly places you want to live. Do you want to live at the beach? Do you want to live in the mountains? Do you want to live in a subdivision, on a farm, at a pond, at a lake, anything like that? So that is up to you to decide, but you need to write down 5. How many? 5 different places. So I might write down the beach. And I might write under the sea. Is it somewhat realistic? Because if it's somewhat realistic, you can do it. Maybe I want to write on the moon. That would be somewhat realistic if I lived in some sort of oxygen-filled bubble of some sort. So on the moon. I've even discussed with students living on a volcano. Maybe they want to live in some sort of heat shield of some sort so the heat doesn't get to their house or something like that, but they decided they want to live on a volcano. So that's an option too. So that beach, under the sea, on the moon, I'm going to say the country, and I'm going to write the woods because, maybe I want to live in a tree house. After that, you're going to write down different materials. And I apologize if this is backwards when you see it. Materials, location, there's all my different locations. What are you going to build your house out of? Now you want it to somewhat get along with where you're living. So if you're living under the sea, you need some sort of glass or plastic bubble that you're living in. If you're at the beach, it would probably make sense to have palm branches, maybe sand, dirt, things like that you'd build your house out of. If I were to live in the country, maybe just a normal house, so I'd have siding, bricks, things like that. So you're going to write down at least 5 different things. And when you write it, you're also going to give me a sample, of how you're going to do that. So that last video about all the materials was important because you're going to have to know how you're going to draw out all of those different materials. So on the bricks, I've got all the different bricks, and I've got the different textures that you might see. You might want to get colors as well to then actually do the color sampling as well. So I've got bricks, I've got siding you might do. You might write that I want to live with, in a tree house. You might have wood, so you're going to give a sample of wood, or gold, or silver, or diamonds. It totally depends on what your actual house you want to build it out of. So you're going to do all of that, and you're going to write samples. Again, 5 of each. You don't have to use them all, but you want to have at least 5 options. Last thing, and this is what I think is one of the most important things, you're going to write down what you are going to include around your house. This is going to tell me more about you. What do you like to do? Maybe you're going to put a trampoline in your yard. Maybe you're going to put a pool in your yard. Maybe you're going to have a tree house or a swing, or you're going to have a basketball hoop. All things that you might like to do. Maybe you're going to have some sort of baseball diamond in the back of your house. So 5 things that you want to include around your house that you like to do. Again, it's going to relate to that location a little bit. That's why I did that one first. If you're living at the beach, maybe you want to include kayaks, surfboards, things like that you'd use at the beach, a boat. If you live on the moon, you maybe need some sort of space vehicle to get around in, or under the sea, maybe a submarine car of some sort. So what would you include around your house that shows me I know more about you, but also I know more about your location and what it is you can do at your location, okay? So what are you going to include around your house? In the end, it's going to look something like this. Okay, again, I apologize for the backwards with my flipped cam. Okay, 5 for each, samples for the materials, and then also what you're going to include around that house. The last thing you're going to do is a sketch. And it's a pretty detailed sketch. You want to have worked out all the kinks before we get to that final. The final should be super simple to do once you have figured that out. So you're going to start with your horizon. Again, you can put that horizon anywhere you want to. You can do your paper this way. You can do it this way. It is totally up to you. You can do the horizon close to the top or close to the bottom, depending on how much sky or land you want to include. You're going to start with your horizon. Just a line. You decide where you want to place your vanishing point. To the right, to the left, is it in the center of it? Again, up to you, but you are going to literally draw your vanishing point. Then you're gonna decide, where do I want my house to be? How much of the house do I wanna include? Do I want a lot of yard space? Do I wanna draw a small house, leave a lot of space around it? Or do I wanna draw a really big house? After you draw everything, you're gonna draw the things you wanna include around your house. Make sure you've got samples of all your materials on there. You've colored samples of everything, so that in the end, it looks something like this. I know it looks really detailed and overwhelming, but you're gonna have like 3, 4, maybe even 5 days to work on your plan, so you will have an easy time doing your final because you've worked out all the kinks. And you can see my 3-dimensional. I've got my porch swing, I've got my barn, I have, oh, you can see actually I have a basketball hoop, a fire pit, a volleyball court in the back, all things that I like to do. Okay, I've got samples of what my shingles are gonna look like, samples of what the brick is gonna look like, samples of what my tree, the wood on the tree is gonna look like. All of that I have included. Once you have all of that, you're gonna bring it up to me to get approved. I'll give you your final paper and you're off and running. Just a quick other sample of one, just to give you an idea. It's gonna be right up here, if I can get it to work right, of another student sample that they did. You can kind of see that one, of just an idea for what they were working on. So hopefully this makes some sense. It gives you a guideline for what you want to include. Don't forget what you're going to be including on your plan is also on Moodle, so feel free to reference that written description. The samples of the plan and the sketch are also on Moodle for you to click on to look at anytime you need to. Feel free to reference the video as well. As always, check with me if you have questions, and have fun.